I'm Brenda. Welcome back to my quilt room. Well, 2022 is almost in the box and behind us. It's already October, and I have a really great quilt block that I want to show you. It's simple and easy for October. It's called the Churn Dash. This block has been around for a long time. I don't exactly know the whole history of this. It's very similar to another quilt block called the monkey wrench. And you can see why the shape of the top looks like a monkey wrench, but it's called Churn Dash. And it's, I guess, because it looks like the stick that you would use when they churned butter inside the container. So this is a block where you can do different things with the center. This one I wanted to show you what it would look like if the center was the same as the half square triangles that go around the block. This one is a sample to show you what it looks like when you have a different color in the center. So you could also do a fussy cut and put a pretty fussy cut into the center of that. And if you don't know what that is, that's just taking a fabric, like the fabric that I'm going to show you, and I used it to cut out this pretty poinsettia that's going to go into the middle of the block. So you can use 2 or 3 different fabrics if you want your center of your block to be completely different than the rest. And we've been making these PDFs with the instructions and all the dimensions of cutting, so you don't have to write that down and remember it. You can print this off. And I'll tell you what we're going to use. For using 2 fabrics, you need 4 5-inch squares, a light and a dark, and this is my light color. The poinsettia is going to be considered my dark color. And you'll need 2 of each of those. And then 8 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, which are these. Also 4 in light, 4 in dark. And then you need 1 4.5 inch square for the center. It can be different, or you can do a fussy cut like I did here. And a lot of this is redundant that I've showed you how to do before. So I've sewed most of this block together. You're going to start by putting your light, 1 light and 1 dark 5-inch square on top of each other. Draw a diagonal line down the center, as I've already done, and then stitch 1/4 inch away from the diagonal line on both sides. And then you will cut it apart so that you have 2 half square triangle units. And because you have 2 of these, you'll end up with a total of 4 half square units. These will be squared up to 4.5. So if you see here, I've used my Quilt in a Day half square triangle square up ruler. I love this. I've had it. I've showed it to you before. I've had it a long, long time. You put your dashed line at the 4.5 and put it right on your stitching line where you sewed. And then you will take your rotary cutter and trim away from both sides the excess. There's hardly any excess left over. And you'll want to set your seams by pressing and then open up your half square triangle units to the dark side. And you can go ahead and use your scissors or your clippers and take your dog ears off of your half square triangle unit. So we can clip those off. Okay, next you will want to take your 4 rectangle units, a light and a dark, and you will want to pair these together and stitch them in pairs, and then open them up and press to the dark side so that you have 4 of those. And this is how you'll lay out your block. You'll take your 1 4.5 inch. It'll either be one of your fabrics or a fussy cut. Take your half square triangle units and place them around the center. Now, typically I would put the dark toward the center, but I kind of liked the way this looked different than the other 2 that I had by putting my light in toward the corner so that my churn dash is more the off-white color than it is with the poinsettia. And so you will set your 9 pieces together and you're going to sew them like a 9 patch. You'll sew your top row, sew this one, and then press it out. And then this one, you sew them in these rows, row by row, row 1, row 2, row 3. And then stitch your rows together. And when you're finished, you will press it and trim it to 12 inches. And that is all there is to making this churn dash block. So this is your block for the month of October, and you'll make 2 of these. So we've almost got 22 out of here, and next month in November I've got another really pretty easy block for you. So this is when you have half square triangle units, you could turn this around. Let me just turn this around and show it to you. It would be really pretty turned around with the poinsettia toward the middle. But I actually liked the white. I thought that it stood out. But look at how pretty that would be. I don't know. Maybe I like the poinsettia better. Maybe I'll stitch it like that. I don't know. I'll have fun with it and I'll make up my mind one way or the other. But until next time, we'll see you later.